It's a joy and a privilege to introduce you to RadNet, the leadership and church planting course with Ichthus Christian Fellowship, based here in London.
Do you want to serve God and be part of His kingdom purposes in this generation? Do you feel a calling and an urging from the Holy Spirit to invest in church life and growth? And are you willing to roll up your sleeves and get stuck into a Jesus style of leadership, reaching out to the lost and the last and the least? Well, if that is you, then RadNet is the training course for you.
RadNet is equipping.
RadNet is groundbreaking.
RadNet is God-chasing.
RadNet is spiritually gear-changing.
RadNet is envisioning.
2024 is 50 years since the start of Ichthus, and we are thrilled to be relaunching RadNet in our 50th year. Training, mission, evangelism and theology has always been at the heart of who Ichthus is. And so what better way to mark our 50th year?
RadNet is all about training people to become radical workers with the kingdom net. Radical just means going back to the roots of things. When we look back into Matthew chapter 4, we can see Jesus calling his first disciples and saying, I'm going to train you to become fishers of people so that you will be drawing people in to relationship with God and helping them to explore the kingdom life together. Some people are going to be like Peter and Andrew, those who love forging out onto the choppy waters and flexing their muscles to pull in the catch. Others are going to be a bit more like James and John, perhaps, with other skills, the skills of mending the nets and seeing where they need repairing, where they've got worn or torn, strengthening them so that they can continue to do the kingdom work. In the same way, RadNet seeks to shape men and women to be breakthrough evangelists and also those who can strengthen and pastor and disciple the church so that people fulfill the calling of God on their lives.
Here we go. From the depths of our hearts to the top of our lungs, we will sing our hallelujahs. With our feet, our hands, like the beat of the drum, we will make a joyful sound.
In order to lead well, it's important to think deeply. And that's what we do on RadNet. There are 2 days of teaching each week. We look at the scriptures and we engage with them deeply. We think about important theological topics. We think about the world. We think about God. We think about how God relates to his world.
I loved sitting through quality teaching from people who had deep understanding of the word and also had a well of experience from living it out.
From the depths of the earth to the top of the world, we will love as Jesus loved us. With our feet, our hands, we will go.
We're committed to the principle of learning by doing. And in RadNet, this is expressed in a number of ways. Primarily, it's through patch. What that means is for the whole of the RadNet course, you'll be based in a local congregation, which is your patch. And for at least 2 days a week, you'll be getting stuck in church life and the mission of the church in the local area. Not only that, but during the course, there'll be an opportunity for either a UK or an overseas-based mission trip. And finally, RadNet will culminate in the Ichthus Summer Project. This is a week's worth of intensive training and equipping in evangelism.
So I really appreciate the team and shared life together that was expressed through the work on the local patch, the local congregation that we became part of, and working alongside the congregation leaders and the wonderful congregation members there. It was just brilliant.
For the whole of your time on RadNet, you will be at the heart of the Ichthus movement, embedded into house groups, Sunday morning congregations, celebrations, conferences, and every other part of Ichthus life.
During the course, RadNets will interact with a number of different mentors. There'll be a patch mentor. This is someone who will oversee their development and effectiveness in the midst of church ministry and outreach into the community. There'll also be personal mentors, ones who look out for their general well-being and their personal development and growth in faith. But also, there'll be space to assign specialist mentors where it's appropriate. If we sense there's something of God's calling on a person, or if there's a particular gift that they're wanting to develop, where appropriate, we might assign specific people who can nurture and develop and bring out that gift in them.
As a leader today, I'm still deeply impacted by the example, all the things that I saw and heard and the many different leaders that were part of that year's training. To this day, I can't forget it, and to this day, I want to follow that example.
On RadNet, I encountered afresh the passion of Jesus to win the world to himself, and more clearly understood my giftings in the area of evangelism and outreach.
So I want to encourage you. This RadNet will give you much more hunger, and it will equip you, it will help you to understand your calling. That's what has happened to us. And we joyfully share the decision we made 21 years ago. That was the best decision that we made.
If you're thinking about doing RadNet, don't dream about it. Do it. Just go for it. You will not regret it.
RadNet is radical.
RadNet is worth it.
RadNet is challenging, it is equipping, and it's wonderful.
RadNet is a solid building block for the future.
RadNet is a catalyst for becoming more like Christ.
RadNet is a gift.
RadNet is a journey that will change you.
RadNet is practical.
RadNet is deeply enriching.
RadNet is stretching.
RadNet is life-changing.
Life-changing.
RadNet is life-changing.
It's an intensive 6-month full-time course launching in January 2024. A residential place here with us in Forest Hill, South East London, will cost you $3,995, and if you have your own accommodation, then you can come and do the course for just $995. Go to the ICTHUS website and you'll find all the information you need, and you can register your interest.